this video, we're going to learn about arrays. And you may wonder why I have an Excel spreadsheet open right now. And it's because this is a good visual way of learning the way that arrays work. And then we'll get into how to work with arrays in JavaScript after this. So what an array is it's essentially a container like a variable, except it can actually contain multiple items. So you can load up a lot of different items within that same container, and then you can access it however you want. So if you think of it, just like you could put in a bunch of names. So you could put in Jordan and Tiffany and Christine and Dave, Rita, Heather, and Tressa, some of my family. And so you can see right here, you can ignore the top portion because we're going to get into how to have multi-dimensional arrays later on with when we get into JavaScript objects. But for right now, just think of the numbers. And so Jordan is at the 1 number or the 1 index. Tiffany is at the 2. Christine's at the 3, all the way down to Tressa, who is at the 7 index. The only difference between like Excel spreadsheets and how those type of arrays work and regular arrays is arrays in JavaScript and pretty much every programming language actually start with a 0 as the first one. So if you ignore this, it would actually be 0 for the Jordan one. For the Rita one, it's going to be 4, so on and so forth. And a good way of thinking about it is just put whatever the natural number would be, just subtract 1 from that, and that's what the index is going to be. And that's how you'll hear it referred as the index point in the array. So I'm going to get out of that and we'll get on the console, and I'll show you how to build arrays in JavaScript. So there's actually 3 ways of doing it. The first one is where you can actually, this is the long one, this is the one that isn't done very often, but you can do it this way. We're going to do var, and we'll do family names, staying with a theme, and do equals, and then you have to type in new array, and array is a class in JavaScript, so you actually have to type it out exactly like this, and you have to give it a capital A. We talked in the very beginning how you don't use capitals with variables, and this is the reason why. It's because you need to save that for the classes, the special reserved words and classes you create. So we're doing var family names equals new array. So what this is doing is it's creating a new array. And so I'm going to hit enter, and so that's been created. If I do family names right now and just try to print that out, you can see these 2 brackets. That is a shorthand for, that's a display of an array, and you can see there's nothing inside of it. So what we're going to do is add some things inside. To add things inside this way, you just type the name of the array and then the index value you want. So we'll start with 0 and then do equals, and we're going to start off with my name. And then that got added. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll do the 0 again, or I'm sorry, that would be bad. That would have, well, that wouldn't be bad. That would have just replaced my my value. And then we'll do Tiffany, and that got added. And we'll just do one more. So you have to watch me type this. At the index value 2, and we'll do Christine. And that's my daughter's name. So you click enter, and so now we've added those 3. Just so you'll believe me that we actually have added those, I'll go family names, and in the console I'll just print it out. And now you can see where before we got the empty brackets, now that we added those, now it prints out these 3, and the reason is because we added each of those into the array. And so this is kind of a long-winded way of adding items to an array. It is a way, though, that you will do it if you're doing it within a for loop. And we actually have a very fun project we're gonna do in a few lessons that utilizes this method. But for right now, I'm also going to show you the other things that other ways that you can create an array. And so I'm going to refresh this and clear all this out. And now we're going to do just a slightly more, this is what's called the literal version, and it's just easier to do it this way if you're creating an array from scratch. So you're going to do var, and then I'm going to do baseball teams as the array, and I'm not actually going to have to do new array on this one. All I'm doing is an equal sign, just like we're creating a variable. And then you remember these brackets, we're going to do the brackets. And so I'm going to do the Mets, I'm going to do the Yankees and the Rangers, and that's it. And so I've added those in and do a semicolon at the end, and now I'm going to hit enter, and let's see if that is saved. There you go. So you can see this is using a different method, but it accomplishes the exact same thing that we did before. So baseball teams is now an array, and it's an array that holds these values. There's one other way of doing this. I personally haven't used this method in any real live production environments, just because it's even it's in between the two. It's called the condensed version. I usually will do the literal way if I know all my values right away, and I'll do the regular way if I don't know them and I'm using a for loop or something. So I'm going to do var, and this time I'm going to do fruits. And for fruits, I will do equals, and then we type in new array, and then you do parentheses, not brackets, and we'll do apple, orange, and banana. Save that, and now we'll type out fruits, and you can see it prints out and has stored apple, orange, and banana into the fruits array. So that's how. Those are the three ways you can create arrays. In the next video, what we're going to get into is showing how you can actually access these values. So I'll show you how you can print them out, put them in an alert box, put them in a function, anything like that. So let me know if you have any other questions about arrays. Some people have a lot of issues, and it takes a little while to learn it. If it didn't all make sense to you, watch the video again, try these out in the console until you have a firm understanding of it, because you will be using arrays nonstop when you're programming, regardless of the language that you're using. So it's very important.